Welcome. I'm Randy Dufo with Genus Technologies, and in this video I'll take you through the concept of intelligent automation, or IA as we will call it. Digitally transforming processes is something every business must consider for a whole bunch of reasons. Those include a continuous need to improve efficiency and lower costs, a need to promptly complete transactions, a need to support a remote workforce, a need to quickly respond to customers, and many, many others. A few processes in some businesses can transform by using specific, specialized software systems. However, that's just not the case for most processes in most businesses. Transforming those processes requires tailoring a general-purpose software platform to meet the extremely specific needs of that business. The general-purpose software platforms most suited for transformation are the IA class of systems. Those platforms integrate the 5 specific technology domains most transformation initiatives will need. Those include process orchestration that connects the systems and the people together in a concise, predictable, manageable, and measurable way. Document automation that converts the unstructured content contained in business communications into the information a process requires. Robotic process automation that moves non-cognitive, repetitive tasks away from users and into the machine. User engagement that effectively communicates with all the humans in a process in several diverse ways. And analytics that uses measurement data collected across processes to help understand historical business performance and to help predict future needs and budgets. These 5 domains, when integrated together in an IA platform, create a powerful and simple to configure mechanism for transforming any business process. Process orchestration is a particularly important domain for any IA platform. It ties the systems and the humans together in ways that drive efficiency, accuracy, and accountability. Flowcharts are a common way to help us understand a business process. Imagine a process like a customer service event. Starts with some notification from the customer. That could be a telephone call, an email, or even a letter received in the mail. Now that the event is started, the first step is to define the relationship with the customer. Using data like a phone number, email address, or street address derived from the initiating content, the process queries line of business software systems to gather information like customer name and purchase history. Now that we've saved the customer service agent from spending time finding out who the customer is and what the issue might be, the agent can get right to solving the problem. The process configuration also takes care of things like escalation to supervisors and other steps to handle exceptional situations. Orchestration keeps a permanent record of everything happening to the event. Businesses need to know how they are doing, and those logs deliver a look into the real-time state of the process. The business knows at any point in time the level of effort needed to service its customer base. The business can also look back to understand the overall performance of the customer service system and the performance of the staff that support it. Global business runs on the exchange of documents. But today, those documents do not mean paper. Email, web portals, and other communication mechanisms mean the documents seldom get to a physical form. However, exchanging documents electronically does not mean exchanging data. Documents are unstructured and generally require a human to extract the information we need from them and then structure that information in a way where it's useful. Humans, of course, are pretty good, although not perfect by any means, at this conversion effort. Over the past few years, machines have gotten surprisingly good at making sense of documents, converting the unstructured into structure. And that's called document automation. using the machine to understand and extract information from unstructured documents. Document automation consists of 3 steps. The first is classification, where the machine figures out what kind of document that it is. Next, there's extraction, where the machine converts a defined set of elements on the document into machine-usable form. And validation, where the machine checks its work and, when needed, gets a human involved to investigate anything that doesn't check out. When properly configured, document automation quickly pays for itself by relieving staff from the laborious and error-prone task of data entry. Every day, staff in businesses across the world open spreadsheets, log on to software applications, look things up on websites, and do the exact same task over and over again. It may be copying a number from one place to another, or it may be updating a software system from some notification, or it may be something else. But if the task follows a well-defined set of rules and doesn't require making any sort of human decision, it's a good candidate for robotic process automation, or RPA. RPA involves replicating actions a user takes into a software robot. The configured robot then executes the actions using some sort of inputs, either at some specific time or when the necessary input data arrives. Users are relieved from what are often described as mindless tasks and are additionally freed to carry out work that requires human decisions and actions. Cognitive work. Any task that includes a high degree of manual work, has unambiguous business rules, involves many systems used in the course of the task, has high volumes of similar transactions, suffers from human error and rework, and potentially involves sensitive data, again, is a great candidate for RPA. Beyond relieving users from the boredom, robots typically complete tasks in much less time, and they don't make errors. Logs of robot activity make it simple to troubleshoot issues and help to ensure compliance with procedures and regulations. RPA isn't a solution for every automation aspect of a business process, but it is a key domain when digitally transforming with an IA platform. All business processes involve humans at some level. They could be internal staff, they could be staff from trading partners, or they could be customers. Regardless of who they are engaged in the process. Engagement is another domain of any IA platform and takes on many forms. The key need is to present some level of information to the human and then accept a response. Processes then continue based on a decision the human made or on some data that they supplied. There are a myriad of ways to deliver the back and forth communication of engagement. Traditional techniques include email messages and web browser forms. Evolving options include conversational interfaces, commonly known as chatbots, voice assistants, and social media-based apps. Any engagement method, of course, must consider that the human may be participating from some form of mobile device like a phone or a tablet. The IA platform should make defining process steps requiring engagement a really simple task. A good implementation lets analysts and senior business staff define the content the human needs to see, define the data elements the human has to supply, define any needed conversational components, define controls for the process, and define a means for handling exceptions. In the end, good engagement should allow humans to interact with a process efficiently and in a way that suits their desired working style. A key feature of any IA platform is the amount of data it collects about the process. With that data, it's possible to measure everything, both in real time and historically, in order to understand the past performance of the humans and the systems, and to predict and manage future needs. For example, Performance of the document automation domain benefits from continuous attention to extraction statistics. The extraction success rate for a form and for the data elements on the form changes over time. Watching the reports helps guide decisions about when it makes sense to intervene and tune the extraction model. Another example is managing staff workloads. Real-time reports and dashboards allow management staff to understand the current volume of work needing attention, and then guides reassignment or redistribution of that work in order to ensure prompt delivery of services. Historical details can help measure staff performance and identify training needs. Yet another example is answering a question like, we've grown 25% as a company over the past year. How should we budget for staff and other resources based on the volume of work we did last year and adjusting for new growth? IA Analytics gives you never before possible insights into your business. Those insights help refine processes, understand bottlenecks, and supply the information you need to make both your current and future initiatives the best that they can possibly be. So let's look at a couple of IA examples. A large county human services department struggled with distributing more than 1,000 distinct types of forms and their supporting documents to the correct division of the department and to the caseworkers helping the county's residents through the different program bureaucracies. As part of a digital transformation effort, the county chose an IA platform and began by automating classification of the large base of different form and document types. The effort went on to organize that documentation into cases, route the case to the correct part of the organization for handling, and file the case into the resident's permanent record. The county continues to enhance and expand automation of those processes. A recent addition is a capability for caseworkers to capture a resident's documents with a mobile phone camera and immediately forward them on for processing. Overall processing time for a document in the department has fallen from an average of nearly 2 weeks to, in most cases, now a few minutes. Another example is a large temporary staffing agency in the healthcare industry. As the agency placed more and more doctors and nurses with healthcare providers across the U.S., their mostly manual efforts for collecting work time records and validating professional credentials started to break down. There were unmet deadlines, excessive staff overtime, and costly errors. The firm chose an IA platform to transform the mostly manual processes. Their first transformation effort concentrated on automating time collection. Document automations shortened the time required for processing, and engagement features lowered error rates. Notifications at every step of the process kept staff in the field up to date on the status of their timesheet. A mobile capture capability sped the process up even more. Overtime for time processing staff was completely eliminated, and nearly half of the department moved on to other responsibilities in the firm. Managing credentials for all the professionals employed by the company is an unending challenge. In some cases, requirements dictated monthly checks of certain credential repositories. Multiply that by thousands of doctors and nurses, and the manual efforts both to manage the process and conduct the checks is just overwhelming. So the company transformed the credential process by using orchestration to manage the required tasks and RPA to communicate with all the systems involved. In most cases now, humans only get involved when the process is unable to automatically resolve some sort of exception. The company's IA solutions put them in a good position to respond to healthcare industry staffing needs during the recent pandemic. So that is intelligent automation. Process orchestration connects the systems and the people together in a concise, predictable, manageable, and measurable way. Document automation converts the unstructured content contained in business communications into the information a process requires. RPA moves non-cognitive, repetitive tasks away from users and into the machine. User engagement effectively communicates with all the humans in a process in several diverse ways. And finally, analytics use the measurement data collected across processes to help understand historical business performance and to help predict future needs and budgets. These technology domains, when delivered in a single IA platform, create a powerful and simple to configure mechanism for digitally transforming any business process. Thanks for watching, and we wish you all the best in your digital transformation endeavors.